All right, we got a very special guest joining us today from Sinton, Texas. A man who didn't forget where he came from. 1993 graduate of Sinton High School, correct?
Yep.
After he joined the coaching industry, he found his way back to his hometown, and now in his 6th season as the Pirates head coach. Ladies and gentlemen, the leader of the undefeated Sinton Pirates, Coach Michael Troutman.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Hell yeah. How you doing? I'm going to ask you again. I already asked you. Are you doing good? Doing good?
Doing good. Doing good. Getting ready
to... You're not in the lab making up some plays or anything like that, are you?
No, we don't make up plays. We do what we do. Don't like to reinvent the wheel.
There you go.
I think there's a quote out there by Bruce Lee that says, don't be just average in a lot of things. Be great in one thing. And we don't reinvent the wheel. We're going to get good. We're going to get great at what we do.
Yeah. Be water. Well, thanks for joining us today, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We actually got a nickname for you here at Fade or Follow. We call you Michael Violence Troutman. We saw the interview you did after that CC Miller win, and man, that intensity you brought, bringing the violence in the game. We saw the interview, and I told Dustin, we got to have this guy on. We got to have him on. It was a hell of a promo. I got to tell you, hell of a promo. I know it wasn't a promo. I know those are your true feelings, but damn, you got us going there.
Yeah, well, I football, the sport has changed. Just with all the rules in the NFL that protects the quarterback, which I understand it. I get it. But I still believe it is a violent game. I still believe it's running in the trenches. I still believe that it's won with the offensive line and the defensive line. And I still believe in hard hits make a difference in the toughness and the sweat, blood, and tears that go into preparation of a football game. And Friday Night Lights is and you have to be the most physical team out there. You have to be the most violent team out there. And I still believe what I was telling you about, like those guys I was naming out with the Mike Singletaries and the Ronnie Lotts and the Ray Lewises and the Jack Lamberts and Dick Butkus and all them guys. That's the type of football I grew up watching. Mm-hmm. It's a violent game, and I try to keep it violent. We still do Oklahoma drill. We still we do what we call Pirate Alley, where it's one-on-one. And tough people win games. Mm-hmm. And it's still, I still believe that,
Oh yeah. I'd say y'all have been the most violent team, being undefeated 8-0. So ain't nobody can match up to y'all. Haven't matched up to y'all yet. But I got to ask you, have you always been like this, real intense, or does football just kind of bring that out in you? Because I bet your speeches pregame, I bet they fire those kids up, man. I bet they get their blood boiling. Ooh. So
I don't know, guys. I grew up in a household with a very strict father, mm-hmm. And we didn't spend our weekends going out to the movies and
vacationing.
Yeah, we took vacations, but we went out to George West a lot, where our ranch is.
Shout out.
And we built fence. We hauled brush. Like it was like we just that's what you did. That's what you did, and it was very in his own way. He was a very intense father. He was the type of man that I never heard him say "I love you" come out of his mouth. But you knew by his actions that he loved you. Mm-hmm. And that's why I guess football is so true to my heart, is because after every football game playing out there on Pirate Stadium, he would come out and he'd shake my hand and give me that look, and I just knew he was proud of me.
Gotcha.
And so the intensity comes from, wanting to. I was always bred, if you're going to do something, you do it 100 miles an hour. Oh, yeah. You don't do it halfway. Gotcha. And that's my approach to everything in life. You do it 100 miles an hour. It's my everything or nothing. Mm-hmm. And that's what I give those kids, my everything or nothing. That's what I'm going to give my family, my everything or nothing. That's what I'm going to give this community, my everything or nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And you talk about a pregame speech. That is our pregame speech. We say before every game, my everything or nothing. We're going to fight because we can't fight no more. Going to lie down, bleed a while. Then we're going to get up and we're going to fight again. And we've been saying that for 6 years. And then we say it again, my everything or nothing. We're going to fight till we can't fight no more. Going to lie down and bleed a while. And then we're going to get up and we're going to fight again.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when we storm the field.
Hell
because that's what it's about. It's about getting knocked down and getting right back up. And you better have a fight in you. And so that kind of goes hand in hand together, you know?
Yeah. Sounds like your dad was a red-blooded American. That was American right there.
I love it.
I tell you.
I love it.
Are y'all not jacked?
Yeah.
I got a question now. What's the difference in giving that speech to a Klein Collins high school compared to a smaller school?
I did say it at Klein Collins. I was the guy that did the pregame speeches.
Oh, yeah.
Did they take it more than the smaller schools or the bigger schools?
You know, I think with Sinton, because I think there's some validity with it, because I am from Sinton.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It is my everything or nothing. It is.
Show it again, Coach.
I gotta see that again.
Show it again. Show it again.
Hell yeah.
So, coming into Sinton, I wore that never-ending nest. I fought on that football field out there. My sweat and my blood and my tears were in that weight room. So, it is my everything because I'm giving back to what the Sinton community gave to me growing up. And so I'm giving it back, and I will give my everything. Yeah. And until the day comes where I can't give my everything, that's when it's time to hang it up, boys.
Yes, right. I got you.
Because if you're going to do something, you better do it with everything you have.
All right.
Because those kids deserve it.
Slow clap.
And the Sinton Pirates deserve it.
Hell yeah. All right, man. But my next thing to you was before we really get started. I mean, you got to start it already. We're already going. I gotta tell you. But no, it's not. It's, in no way is this some kind of serious interview or anything. We kind of come on together and just kind of talk football is all it really is about. You don't feel comfortable answering stuff. Don't answer it. We have a safe word here, but I don't think you're going to use it. So I'm not going to tell you. All right. If there's any questions before we get started, I mean, are you ready to go? Sounds like. I mean, I'm ready to go. Y'all ready to go?
Right.
I'm gonna go fucking play football right now. Let's go.
Oh God! All right, now I wanted to start out with you. After you gave your blood, sweat, and tears to them Sinton Pirates, from what I understand, you played some ball too in college. Sol Ross, correct?
I did. I had the opportunity to go up to Alpine, Texas, and play football for the Sol Ross State University Lobos.
All right. How was that? How was it? You enjoyed over there, or did it?
It was it's a long way from South Texas, and I came from a very successful high school program. My sophomore year, under Gary Davenport, we went to the state semifinals. And then my junior year, we went to the state quarterfinals under Davenport. And then my senior year under Jim Bob Mickler, we went to the state quarterfinals as well. And going up to Sol Ross, it's a long way from home, and you're out in the middle of nowhere. And that first year, we went 0-10. Mm-hmm. It was tough. It was tough, and there ain't a whole lot to do up in Alpine. Yes. Now you make some quality friends because of that, and you become a really tight knit group of teammates. And we went 0-10. I remember making a phone call to my dad, and I said, "Dad, I want to transfer somewhere else. I want to go somewhere else." He goes, "Let me." He goes, "Yeah, okay." And he goes, "You have a choice to make." I said, "Your first choice," he goes, "is that you stay up there because you made a commitment to that coach. You made a commitment, and that means something. And you're getting an education." And you're having the opportunity to play football, and those coaches believed in you and gave you that opportunity. That's your first choice. Your second choice is you can come on down, but as soon as your ass gets right down, I'm taking you over to the Marines, and I'm signing you up. American. So you have a choice to make now. I said, "Dad, I'll see you at Christmas."
Yes, sir.
I'm staying up.
I love it. I love that answer.
And my sophomore year, we went 0-10 again. Mm-hmm. But the that freshman class we came in with, we stuck together.
Mm-hmm.
And then my junior year, we went 3-7. And you thought we won a Super Bowl. We finally got to win.
Yeah.
Finally got to win. And then my senior year, we went 6-4, and we're the conference champions.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Good. Hey, you got to start from the bottom. You ended up completing the goal at the end of it. So hey,
Yeah, absolutely.
pays off.
So yes, and we got a ring, and I wear that ring every day, and I don't have it on right now because I'm at the house. But that's a story of you talk about facing adversity.
Yeah.
You come from a very successful high school program. You go into a losing college program. You stick with it, and you believe in it, and you have a bunch of teammates that come together and fight through it, and
you're miles away from home, getting your ass
miles
whipped
away
for
from
2 years.
home. Yeah, I mean, you just didn't come home on the weekends either.
Yeah.
And driving 3 hours is a short trip. In Alpine, the nearest Walmart was in Fort Stockton, which was an hour away.
Oh no, not Fort Stockton.
Yeah.
The closest mall was in Odessa, which was 2.5 hours away.
Damn.
So you learned to stick it out there, and I made some lifelong friends. I worked with some guys that played at Mary Hardin Baylor, and they told me the story that when they went out there, their coach would say, "Guys, these Sul Ross boys know how to do 2 things: fight and drink beer, and there's no beer on the football field. So get ready."
So get ready.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh damn. No. What I was going with that is after Sul Ross, I guess you give us a story there. You end up winning the conference championship. That's awesome. So you finished at school, Sul Ross. I mean, was football coach always your plan, or was there something else there? Didn't want to be.
I knew I wanted to be a football coach. I knew I wanted to be a football coach from the moment I played football in 7th grade.
Oh yeah.
That's what I wanted to do. No doubt about it.
Gotcha. So right out of school, right out of college, got your coaching degree, took off and started coaching where was it at Conroe, from what I see?
I did. So after my senior year playing at Sul Ross, I actually was a student assistant that following year.
Okay.
Which was very interesting because I had to separate myself from being a teammate to a coach. Mm-hmm. Because the same guys that I was coaching were also my teammates the year before or 2 years before as well.
Okay.
And I remember Coach Hector calling me in and saying, this is part of the process. This is part of the responsibility of being a coach. You can't be going to the parties. You can't be hanging out with them. They're still your friends. They're still your teammates. But you're making this decision now to cross over to be a coach. And I had to make that response. I had to make that choice. And it was and thank goodness I had good teammates that respected that. And they knew that. And for them now to call me coach instead of Michael was an adjustment for them. But those same guys are also coaches too.
Yes, sir.
So it just showed the mutual respect we had for each other.
Yes, sir.
And then from Sul Ross, after that year, I was student assistant. I had the opportunity to go to Caney Creek Conroe. It was a first inaugural year in 1998 of playing varsity football.
Their first ever.
First ever. And the school had been open for 3 years. This was their first year of varsity football. They pulled from Conroe High School out and this school was located in East Montgomery County, and had the opportunity to work for a man by the name of Coach Greg Poole. He is Dr. Poole now. He is the superintendent at Barbers Hill High School. Mm-hmm. And I spent 10 years there at Conroe Caney Creek and went through 4 head coaches.
Damn.
And it was you talk about a life-changing experience. Those kids were they didn't have a lot going on for them at home, and they really relied on you as a coach.
Yes, sir.
And you made an impact in their lives, being a coach. and being there for those kids. And I'll be darned, that first year of varsity football, we actually won a district championship.
No kidding, really?
And with the likes of having Brenham and Waller in the district.
Wow, that's impressive, man.
Mm-hmm. And we spent 10 years there, and the farthest we got, I worked under a man by the name of Glenn Hill, Coach Hill out of San Antonio. My couple of last years there, and we went to the state quarterfinals. So it was a blessing. It was a great experience being out there at Caney Creek.
Quite a learning experience too.
Absolutely.
College, yeah. And then from there you go to Klein College is what I read also before you.
Yes, and then from there one of my good buddies named Drew Sabota. Sabota is out at North Texas right now, coaching at North Texas, special teams coordinator and associate head coach, and he got the job to go out to Klein College, and he gave me a call and said, Troutman, let's go out there. Let's go. I want you to come work for me. Mm-hmm. And I said, absolutely. You got to get my wife. You can get my wife on. And he said, I'll get her on. And I spent 11 years out there. And that too was a great experience. And talk about playing some Houston area football and seeing the talent that's out there. And we would scrimmage Katy one year. The year we went to the state semifinals and lost to DeSoto, we actually played Katy that year and lost in the double overtime, 50-51. We had some great runs there playing Dallas Skyline in the quarterfinals. We lost to DeSoto in the state semifinals. Longview in the state quarterfinals, and just made some awesome runs there at Klein Collins, and really got to see that place grow. And right now they're in good hands with a good buddy of mine named Adrian Mitchell. And it's that one too was an experience, a different type of mindset, different type of culture than Caney Creek, and they were both special places in my heart, But I didn't go to a lot of places, and that was the only two schools I've coached at.
That's what I was going to get to next. From what everybody understands about coaching, you got to be ready to be on the move anytime. Changes had be made, new stats brought in. So in 27 years, 3 stops. I mean, I got to say that's pretty impressive.
Doing a damn good job.
Yeah, no, you're doing.
Yeah, and it was and I went through 4 head coaches there at Caney Creek, and they all kept me on staff, and they were good people, and learned a lot. You learn a lot from every coach, Yes. You learn a lot from every coach, and you take some stuff that you're going to apply whenever one day you become a head coach. And I took some stuff from them and all 4 of those coaches that I learned from. And the same thing, I went out to Klein Collins. I took what I learned from Drew Sabota and Adrian Mitchell when I was out there.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you go to Sinton after Klein College, 52-19. Your career record right now, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. I guess.
I think it is. We looked it up. I checked it. I fact checked it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be wrong.
Okay.
I don't want to know. Want you yelling at me over here.
Yeah. I mean, it's down, but I don't focus on that, guys.
Yeah, I know.
It's deeper than that.
Yes, sir. But I wanted to ask you, as far as getting a Sinton job, how important was that to you? Knowing your family, that's where you're from, and was that kind of like your dream situation for you and your family at the time?
I've always hold on, guys, go inside the house, please.
Trouble.
Go, mind.
I was going to say 100-yard bear crawls. Now.
That or a rattlesnake belt.
Yeah.
Let's go, guys.
On the house. Break down. Break down first.
Up downs.
Up down on the lake, right there.
Okay. So, anyways, but what are we talking about?
Oh, just
remember
what it meant to you as far as getting a job.
Yeah. And so, having that opportunity and what I went through and the interview process, and guys, I have the utmost respect for Tom Allen, whose place I took, and not only as a fellow coach, but as a Sinton graduate. And what Tom Allen did there in Sinton in the successful years that he had, the 11 years that when he was at the helm. And when I heard the news about his sickness and all that transpired and the job came open, I got some phone calls, and it did strike my interest because Sinton means so much to me.
Yes, sir.
And I wanted to give back to Sinton because it made me the type of man that I am. And so it was, coming back home meant everything to me.
Sir.
And having the opportunity to raise my kids here in Sinton the way I grew up in a small town, and to have my wife be able to experience that as well. And she's my head softball coach, and she's been very successful in her tenure here. And just to have that, and it's surreal, guys, when I'm coaching, when I have coached and I'm still coaching kids, players that I grew up with their parents.
Yeah.
They were my teammates.
Yes, sir.
And they mean something to me. All these kids mean something to me because they are Sinton. And I see them, and I see me in them. And so it's surreal, and it means the world to me to come back, and to give everything I have. And so it goes back to that question you asked. When I say that my everything or nothing, it truly is. It means more in Sinton. It is my everything or nothing, because this town was my everything. This football program, this athletic program, these people that I grow up with, they are my everything. And when we say my everything or nothing, is you give everything you have until you have nothing left to give.
Gotcha.
And so that's what it means coming back and being able to lead the helm here as the Sinton Pirates head football coach and athletic director.
Oh yeah. Well, man, if Sinton did that well for you, hopefully all them kids don't start getting that S tattoo on them too.
They probably are.
You might make it that special for them. I'm telling you, man.
I'm gonna get it now.
Yeah.
You win state? Shoot,
I would
have got a George West tattoo.
Yeah. You mentioned Gary Davenport earlier. He actually coached us my senior year also. A great guy. He had just recently passed away. So Dustin, he also coached you too. Great man.
Yes. Sinton was his first head coaching job, mm-hmm. which they came in. Gary Davenport came in with his staff and my freshman year. Mm-hmm. My freshman year in high school.
Gotcha. Okay, let's get into your team now. Okay, I know I want to have you out here too long. So, but 8-0 this year, Coach. 2 games left in district. How does that feel? How does it feel right now? And what's it doing for these kids' confidence being 8-0 right now?
Guys, we look at it. There are bigger goals that we have than preseason. And these kids set these goals. Every year we want to go into a season with the goal of being a district champion.
Yes, sir.
We want to be able to get into the playoffs and make a deep run. We want to do better than what we did the year before. And so going through it every week, it was we treat it like a faceless opponent. And guys, I knew going into this season that we were going to play quality opponents. Mm-hmm. In the preseason, and we couldn't allow ourselves to get so high that if things did not go our way, we have a fall. We had to just keep thinking about the goals in mind, even with the wins. It's goals that we have. And I love to get too low, and we just know we're working towards a bigger goal every week. Yes, every week we're working towards a bigger goal, and it's we got to be able to get 1% better every day. That's in practice. 1% better every day, and if we have that mindset, and so it's a special thing to be 8-0, but we still have not achieved our goals yet. Oh, yeah. We still have goals to achieve.
Job's
And
not
and,
finished.
and so with that being said, you got to stay humble.
Mhm.
You got to know, you got to stay hungry still.
Gotcha.
And you can't allow yourself to be satisfied. You can't allow yourself to think that you have arrived. You haven't, because everything you do is earned. Everything you do is earned. And so you have to keep earning it every day that you have the opportunity to get on that practice field, no matter who the opponent is, because it's a faithless opponent. It's about us getting better. It's not about the other team. It's about us getting better and achieving those goals.
God, I hope these kids hear this. My God.
Rents due every day, James. Rents due every day.
That's that was like the next thing I was going to get into. I was about to say, the kids' confidence, it has to be through the roof. Like how are you guys able to keep them level headed as far as that goes? But I think you pretty much answered it there. Week after week, big game after big game, you guys are winning. And how do you keep them from looking ahead? To saying, oh, we're going to do another deep playoff run, or we're going to get to the state championship, no doubt. You know what I mean? How do you keep them kind of down?
You take it, like I said, you just take it game by game, and even. And the big thing about it is they have to be. We coach them hard.
Mhm.
We coach them up, because what you can't allow yourself as the coaching staff to do, and as a player, is just because you won games doesn't mean you can overlook the little things. And sometimes by having a win, you tend to maybe like overlook this. We got to win. You overlook this. Bull crap. You're still going to get coached hard. You're still going to be corrected with the mistakes that you made, because you're not going to go through a game mistake free. So they get coached just as hard, because I don't believe you don't lose games. You learn from them.
Mhm.
And even with wins, there's still coaching and opportunities to get better. So I guess that's part of the process of not letting it get to your head, and staying humble, and knowing that there's bigger goals to achieve. In order to get that, you have to be process driven. Because if you're result driven all the time, you're going to have disappointments. But you got to be process driven to get the results that you want. And if we're not getting the results that we want, we have to be willing to look each other in the mirror and say, this is what we need to do to change. This is what we need to do to fix the things, and go back to the process to get the results that we want.
Oh yeah, you tell them celebrate after the state championship. All right.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
That's the plan.
But looking at y'all schedule, I mean, it hasn't been a walk in the park. Y'all have the likes of Alice, you guys played, who's first in their district. GP hasn't lost a district game. Miller, who is going into the year, shut up. Miller's going into the year, with big expectations, as they made it pretty far last year. And y'all played Cuero, Cal Allen. They don't need no introduction. So, your kids are refusing to lose, man. And what's been like their fuel? What's been clicking week after week with these kids? Like what is it there?
I've been asked this question before, and I think, obviously you have to have talent and you have to have skill, and we're very blessed here in Sinton to have that. But I honestly believe that these kids play for each other. They care about their brother. They care about the person that's playing next to them, and they've been playing together since Pee Wee football. And this group of seniors are a tight-knit group of seniors. We got some juniors that are in good with these seniors, and they care about each other. And I think that is the number one reason why you have successful teams, is because you have to have a genuine care about the person that's playing for you or playing beside you. That you want them to be successful, and they want, in return, you to be successful. And I think that's part of the large reason why we are successful, and it helps being, in some games we were the underdogs, and so being the underdogs, being an underdog it pulls you together, because you're fighting together up that mountain. And once you're on top of that mountain, you're fighting together to keep from others grabbing you and pulling you down. But they care for one another. Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest with you, like I never enjoy seasons, because after a game, my mind goes directly to the next opponent.
Next one, yeah.
I don't give myself a chance to breathe ever.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm just not built that way. but I've learned with this team because they've reminded me and said, Coach, and they have confidence, but it's not overconfidence. And they remind me like enjoy it.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy it. So, I let them play music. It's a big deal, like in the locker rooms.
That's how you let them
I've
enjoy
done a
the
darn
music.
TikTok with them. I've done a darn TikTok with them, guys. Which is crazy. But that was a bet I made. And I said, y'all beat Miller? I'll do a TikTok with y'all.
Oh yeah.
Guess what?
Okay. I gotta find
They
that.
beat Miller. And I did a TikTok with them. Which unbelievable. I can't believe I freaking did that. But
we gotta find that thing, man.
oh God, but I'm a man of my word. That's how this darn tattoo came up.
Oh,
That 2 years ago they said if we win district, Coach, you got to get a tattoo of the never ending S. And by gosh, we won district. And that next day I was looking for a tattoo parlor.
oh yeah.
So
Good. Great decision, by the way. All right.
yeah, so it's being a man of your word too. But I've learned, and I think by doing that, they have fun with it. They're having fun in the season too. And that's important too. That's important too because you got 48 minutes to play, but a lifetime of memories that will happen.
Oh yeah. Great. Heard that one.
I think if y'all win state, you should take us all out fishing.
Jesus. Just disregard that. As far as your players go, I saw you guys return 18 lettermen from y'all's playoff run last year. How hard did they take that loss last year in the playoffs? You guys made it to the fourth round, ended up playing a tough Wimberley team. Kind of play what? How did it kind of play into their development for this year? Like how did they take it afterwards, and then what did they do about it afterwards?
It's tough. We had a really good team last year too, and we were fortunate to get to the fourth round. And Wimberley has a heck of a team. They still have a heck of a team.
Oh yeah,
they still have their quarterback coming back and their linebacker, and they got some. They have Coach Warren over there runs a heck of a program, and after that loss, there's only one team that goes happy at the end of the season.
That's right.
And that's the state champion.
Yeah.
And so, you always come back with the off season. Something's always fueling you and pushing you, and you have something to prove. And that's kind of like the push. You got something to prove. Like you always feel like you should win those games. And so it drives you, and it takes a piece of you out. And those juniors last year that are seniors this year, that it left a bad taste in their mouth.
Yes, sir.
And so that's the motivation, that's the drive, and you take that feeling and you harness it in your heart, and you let it, and you unleash it when you go into the weight room. You unleash it when it's hard in an off season, when we're doing circuits, when we're doing grass drills, when we're running stands, and you can't, and your body's telling you to quit, and your mind telling you no, but you find that deep inside, that feeling that you had when you lost that game to Wimberley. And you find that, and you let it rise above you. You let it, and you harness that, and you use that to push you through the hard times. You push it when it's strength and conditioning camp, and your butts are expected to be up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and we're pushing you, and it's 110 degrees outside, and you take those feelings of what you had losing that game against Wimberley, and you let it drive you, and so that's what it, and you use that to motivate you. Because that was a hard loss last year, and I appreciate all that the seniors gave last year, and these seniors, which were, like I said, that were juniors last year, they feel the same way. Mm-hmm. It's driving them. They want to get back. They want to play Wimberley. Oh, yeah. They want to have that opportunity again.
Yeah, looking at the stats of these guys, they kind of picked up where they left off. Obviously, y'all return y'all's quarterback, y'all just stud wide receiver. You guys have Jacoby James. Your running backs, both your running backs are returning letterman too, correct? Garcia and Green.
Yes.
Mistaken? Okay. Well,
yes.
Like I said, I've seen highlights and everything all over online of the chemistry between Tristan Henson and Jacoby James. So, I kind of wanted to ask you about that. We kind of like to bring the kids up in the show every now and then just to kind of get their name in the paper. You know what I mean? So, what's their leadership been like as far as being there before and trying to get these guys that are on the team this year to get back to that point to where they left off last year, pretty much.
They're goal driven. Mm-hmm. They have a point to prove. they have a point to prove. And you always knew, like when these kids were seventh graders, you always knew this group was a special group. They obviously they have the talent, but there's just something about them that they have that grit to them, and so they and guys, I'll be honest with you, sometimes they can piss you off so bad because and then they turn around and they sprint their butts off in gassers. So we still run gassers because that's what Gary Davenport did, and that's what we do too under Michael Troutman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes. I ain't heard that word in a long time.
Hey, exactly.
Man. Oh, yeah.
You just scared me.
Run one now.
You just scared me right now.
And a gasser is down and back, down and back. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
just down and back. It's 4 times.
We know.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a true gasser.
We don't do those gassers here.
I got a story about gassers too when we have time about Gary Davenport. But anyways, so it's they have a drive to them. These seniors and they have such a connection, like you said, like you see the connection with Jacoby and Tristan. They have that connection. Then you got Garcia back there at running back, and you have Adrian Diaz, who is our defensive end, who is a phenomenal playmaker, and he's just violent. He's kind of one of those vintage defensive players. He's just all over the field. And then you have Nate Mutchler at linebacker and Aiden Galvin. We just have guys that they love playing the game of football. Oh, yeah. And that's the difference. They love playing football. And some of these guys are great state contender baseball players too. But that's what we do in Sinton. We're going to win in football. We're going to win in baseball.
Athletes, baby. Athletes.
And these guys, the Jacoby James, Tristan Hanson, they wreck shop on the basketball court. They're multi-sport athletes that buy into it because they're representing the never-ending nest. Mm-hmm. And that's what matters in everything that they do. And that is the expectations in Sinton, Texas, is to be great in everything that you do. And you represent the never-ending nest because of what it means. And so that's what these, and it's like Tristan Hanson, his big brother played under Tom Allen and went to the state semifinals back-to-back. Tristan has something to prove. Mm-hmm. Derek Garcia, his father, was 2 years younger than me. He was a running back for the Sinton Pirates. Adrian Diaz's father was 3 or 4 years younger than me. He played for. So these guys, and it's the same thing in George West. Y'all know that, but it's in their blood.
Yes, sir.
Their uncles, their aunts, their moms, their cousins, their brothers, their sisters. It's in their blood, and it means something to be out there on the field and play.
Damn, I should have gone to Sinton. Getting fired up over here. No, I forgot to mention that I was gonna, as far as I was talking stats about y'all's offense, y'all's defense, 16 points a game is all they've opponents have been able to put up on them all year. So I thought that was pretty impressive given y'all schedule and everything. So the kind of the last thing I have before Dustin has to ask you a question is I saw an interview where you kind of talked about the core values of the team. Can you touch on that real quick? I thought that was kind of.
I can. So our core values, number one, is integrity. You got to have the integrity to make the right choices. And remember what integrity is, guys. Having integrity is doing something when nobody's doing the right thing when nobody's watching. That's what integrity is. And integrity can come down to being in the weight room when we're lifting. If you're supposed to do 8 reps, because we don't have all night, we have only a certain amount of coaches. Not every kid has a coach assigned to them. Do you have the integrity to do 8 reps? Or are you going to quit at 6 reps? Do you have the integrity to do your job even when you're tired? Do you have the integrity to make the right choices? And so that is one of our core values that we stress, because not only integrity is about being in athletics, integrity is also about being a family man, about being somebody that will be productive in society. So you got to have integrity to make the right choices. And then our second core value is having discipline. You got to have the discipline to make those choices of integrity. And not always, and usually the hardest choice is the right choice to make. And so you have to have the discipline to make those choices. You have to have the discipline to do the little things right. You have to have the discipline to eat right, to make the right choices. So we talk about discipline as one of our core values. And then our next core value is toughness. Toughness isn't going out and picking some fight with somebody. Any goddamn guy off the street can do that. Toughness is when you get knocked back down. When you get knocked down and you get right back up and you keep moving forward. Toughness is when you're 110 degrees weather outside and Coach Troutman says, run your 8th gasser under time. And you run it with everything you have. That's toughness. Toughness is when you're down at halftime or down in the third quarter and you got to come back and you got to fight for something. That's toughness. And remember what Rocky Balboa said. Remember what Rocky said. It's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and get back up and keep moving forward.
You love that, Scott.
Oh, yeah.
That's toughness.
Oh, yeah.
That's toughness.
If
And
James,
then our last core value is unity. You got to have, and it goes back to what I said, what I think this team has. You got to care enough to where you're a family. You're a unified family. And that includes the coaches too. Because remember, guys, kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care about them. And that's where family comes in. And that's where unity comes in. That's why I don't care what, nobody's greater than this team. Unity, family. We play for one another. It's having I got it right here on my wrist. It's having selfless over selfishness.
Oh, yeah. Good deal.
Because it's a team. The team. Nothing matters more than the team. And that's unity.
Oh, yeah. You picked the right career, coach.
That's right.
All right, I'll pass it over to Dustin.
This is a little more lighthearted stuff. A little stuff away from
Bringing the
football.
mood down.
A little away from football.
We're ready to go, man.
This one could.
I was
This one could still be some football. Yeah. What's your maybe a favorite Coach Davenport story? Just something funny, maybe. It doesn't have to be long or anything, but just any
Right.
kind of memory or something you have of him.
Well, but Davenport, what he used to make us do on Wednesdays, that he would send us around the neighborhood, and he always talked about opening up our lungs, or we run gaspers on Monday and Tuesdays, and on Wednesdays he'd send us on like this little cross country run, right? Well, this was my junior year, and so we would take out onto the high school and we would go around a neighborhood and go through the neighborhood and end up back at the practice field. Well, one week, there's about 8 of us. We decided that we were going to hide inside of a drainage ditch. So as we started, we hid inside the drainage ditch, and we're sitting there and we're BSing and thinking that this is awesome. And then when the team came back around, we crawled out of that drainage ditch and we got back with them and we finished with them. Right? We did anything. At least we thought they didn't.
That's what Austin did.
I know, shit.
So the next week, Davenport sends us again. So we go again, and sure enough, we're like, yeah, let's do it again. Let's go. So we're sitting in there and we're thinking we're cool, and we're sitting in there and we're just BSing, and all of a sudden, Davenport and the rest of the coaches drive up in their vehicles and pull up right there beside us.
Start pouring cement.
Holy crap. So we get up and we haul ass and we're going and we run the whole thing, and we get back and he calls us all out. He says, all right, you boys need to stay. And I mean, I just remember your heart's beating fast because y'all know how Davenport. I mean, he just
Yeah.
Here's a rattlesnake. You're like, oh God, man, my life's done. And guys, he made us run. He goes, all right, first gasper, go. Under timed. Coach, we're sorry. We apologize. All right, number 2, go. Coach, go. Number 3. 38 gassers.
That's child abuse, man.
38 gassers.
Oh, damn.
We were so tired. I mean, after 38, you couldn't even talk. I mean,
You couldn't do that shit nowadays. You could not do it nowadays.
Oh, and he goes, and he said, you know what, he choice of words. He said, but if you would just shut your damn mouth after you finished doing one, then you would have been done. But you had to keep talking. You had to keep talking. And I tell you what, that next game, man, we were in shape though. But I remember talking to Davenport. I went to visit him in George West, and I was sitting with him in his living room, and we were talking, and he said, and we brought that up, and Coach Davenport goes, "Yeah, I think I kind of went overboard on that one, Michael."
Still thinking about it.
I said, "Do you think, Coach?"
He wasn't sure though. Hey, that made you into what you are today, man. Hey,
absolutely, it did.
Right.
From 1 to 38.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trained you till you can't talk anymore, pretty much, is what he did, huh? Man.
Oh yeah. I mean, he just wanted you to he wanted us just to shut up and be quiet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But there was a lesson learned. I promise you, we never sat in that ditch again. I pass by that ditch now, and I say cuss words to it every time I pass by it.
Yeah. You don't go in there and check to see even if your players are in there, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, you still have the ranch in George West?
We do, right off of 799, right there. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, off of 799, and was that?
No. You
381?
don't want to give out that address.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do it.
Yeah.
799 is good enough. We know.
Yeah, we know.
Right.
Yeah, we know.
You don't know which way
anywhere
it is.
on 799.
Yeah, we do. My parents are they're out there in George West, and I have fond memories of going out there to George West growing up, and still go out there and guys, before y'all were born, I remember George West having the downtown with the right there where the courthouse is, and there was a department store there, and my dad and I would take me in there and get me a pair of Wranglers, and I mean all that stuff downtown. It was a really neat downtown place.
It's all gone now, all torn down because of asbestos, apparently. So
I heard they're redoing that. I heard they're redoing the hotel there by the railroad tracks.
They are. They are supposedly gonna make it like some kind of venue of some sort, or I'm not sure. I don't want to lie, but
yeah.
What do you? Anything else?
Yeah. So here's another one. Best place to eat in Sinton.
Ooh.
The butter churn, right?
Yeah.
I'm Coach Troutman, not James Stronley.
Okay.
I mean, here's the deal, guys. I mean, it's you don't have a large selection here, and it's not bad. I mean, it's all good food. We have 3 Mexican food restaurants. We have kind of a home cooking place. You have your butter churn, which is buffet, which is really good. But one place I really like that is and we have a Italian food restaurant here too. That's pretty good too. But we have a place by the name of Backstreet Cafe.
Okay.
That has some good food, and it's kind of matter of fact, it's the owners of you and I downtown
in Corpus.
Yeah, and it's the same family that owns the George West Steakhouse.
Okay,
it's that family.
Okay.
And they bought it and opened it. It's really good food there, and he opened a little sports bar area too with TVs, and they got and they serve wings, and so it's a good place to eat there and sitting Backstreet Cafe. But you got Ranchettos, you got the Caballeries, which is the Italian food restaurant. Of course, you got butter churn, so you got a lot of good places to eat there in Sinton. But I like Backstreet, I really do.
Yeah, that Ranchetto's place is good. We met y'all there that one morning, I think.
Yes, yeah,
pretty good.
And just tell your wife you answered it. Say, whatever meal you make, honey, that's the best food in Sinton.
That's a good answer there.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
We got a few more. So how did you meet your wife?
She actually was in Conroe whenever I was up there.
Okay.
And she is a Sam Houston State graduate.
Okay.
And so she is from a small town up there by the name of Cut and Shoot.
Really? Okay.
Cut and Shoot, Texas. Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
name.
Yeah. That's a heck of a name, right? And so she's from the Conroe area out
Should
there.
be the name of your offense. Just call it the cut and shoot offense.
Oh, there we go.
Hey,
That's violence right there.
Don't say the
it's
lie.
violence. His wife's gonna be like, "Did you name your offense after me?" What else you got, Dustin?
So what's your favorite place that you've been on vacation to?
My favorite place I've been on vacation to. My wife and I have gone up to a place. It's in Colorado. It's in Hot Springs. Pagosa Springs, Colorado.
Okay.
And what's unique about this place, and it's guys, I don't ski. Yeah, no. I mean, I'll do it now because we have little kids. We started over again. I started over again. I got little kids, and I'll do it for them. But what this place is, they're natural hot springs.
Okay.
And and it's a neat. And Pagosa Springs is a small little town. They got some neat little breweries there, and it's and what it is they just like a place where they have these little hot springs, and you go in, and they all have these different temperatures, and it's just relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
It's relaxing to get away, and you're in the mountains, and it's snowing, and it's a nice place. It's I've got to take more vacations. I don't take enough because I've got to get I think it goes with what I was talking about. I've got to enjoy it more, especially with my young kids that we have. I've got to do that more. I have to. I'm coming around to it. I'm coming around to it. But that's darn thing though is that football is always on my heart and always on my mind, and it's the way I'm built.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the Knicks. That's gonna be second because y'all gonna be in Arlington pretty soon at Texas Stadium, the state championship. All right.
Get your hotel reservations
Yeah,
ready.
get your reservation ready.
Well, I appreciate the confidence, and that's always the goal. And people
Got it
say,
right here. 16-0. Y'all are taking it.
Yeah, it's always the goal. It's and people can say like, Coach, be real. No, if you don't say it and you don't believe it, you're never going to achieve it. You've got to say it. You've got to believe it.
Yep.
And that's with anything in life.
Yep.
Gotcha. And so,
yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll get you out of here. You got a question?
I have one more thing.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a hard time getting up in the morning. Can you give me something to wake me up in the morning?
Some motivation is what you need, or what?
Or an alarm? An alarm?
As an alarm.
Wake up, you fat piece of-
Yeah, exactly.
Like a recorded voice.
Yes, that's
Recorded
That's what I need.
motivation.
you want me to record something for you and send it to you?
I'm not sure I want you to say it on here because
Yeah. It want to be good there on here.
It's gonna wake my damn ass up every fucking morning.
Okay, Coach. One more last question, and we'll get you out of here on this. Tell me why is this team different from the one last year, and why are they going to get to the state championship this year? And kind of tell me. Oh no, go ahead and answer that. We'll finish with that.
I think, obviously they've been battle tested in the preseason, and last year's team had a tough preseason schedule too. With the likes of Vernia and Calhoun and Beeville as well, and when Beeville was running the slot T offense, and so they were battle tested too. But this team has really been battle tested.
Yeah.
And they have played some quality opponents, and they never back down. They never back down. There's a fight in them, and we've gone into some games where. We've had to fight through second half, and that's one thing. They just believe in what they do. They believe and it's not overconfidence. They just believe it. They believe it, and that's half the battle. Like I said, if you're going to achieve something, you better believe it. And last year's team has some really good players, and this year's team we do too. But I think the most one of the things that just stands out in my mind is that they truly have been battle tested in the preseason, They truly have. And there's been times where against Cal Allen, against even Cuero, I mean, we're knocked down at halftime, and they've got to find what their they got to find what their character is. You know, how they're going to respond to being knocked down going into halftime. How they respond? What are they going to do third and fourth quarter? And they come out and they find it. And so that's what makes this team fun to coach. You know.
Oh yeah. Hey man, that was awesome.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. We didn't know what to expect, but man, it couldn't have gone any better to me, man. We wanna, unless y'all got anything else.
One last thing, Coach. We have been to Ganado. We've been to George West. They kind of let us in the locker room with lot sidelines, all that stuff, just to check everything out. James gets a few clips, and we make a little like clip out of it. You put like ACDC black and black to this Ganado clips. When we're watching the game there. I think that's what it was. Was it Thunderstruck or Back in Black?
It's Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck. Sorry, it was
doesn't
Thunderstruck.
matter. It's freaking
Either way, we'd like to come to a game. Possibly play out. During the playoffs. Come check it out, and
Absolutely, you're welcome. One thing about ACDC is that that's a large part of Sinton, and I say that because we walk out to Thunderstruck.
Okay.
And then when we get to the right before we're about to run out of the tunnel, we strike Hell's Bells up.
Okay. All right. I'm getting more chills than I've had this whole interview now. But
so it's a big deal. It's a big to us. So we are fueled by ACDC.
Oh yeah. No, if you let us do that, that'd be awesome. They would give us full access, and I gotta tell you, we got to get in the locker room after this. I gotta hear these.
Oh
speeches.
God! My God!
So if you could do that for us, y'all are gonna go deep in the playoffs. I know it. I know. I'm not trying to knock on wood. I'm not trying to jinx you or anything. But I've seen that team that you have this year, and I think they're special too from the stuff that I've seen. But no, thank you for coming on, Coach. Make South Texas proud, man. And
well, guys, I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all having me on, and I appreciate what y'all are doing. Talking football, getting this out there. I mean, that's it's a good thing. It's a really good thing, and I appreciate your professionalism and making me feel comfortable with this because I was a little hesitant. I didn't know what to expect. It did come from Dustin, so it was just kidding, Dustin. But
no, he's not kidding. He's serious.
That guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate it, and I can anybody, like I said, anybody who's played for Gary Davenport, you're all right in my book too, because
oh yeah,
that was that's something else, man. It means
Austin,
something.
You're not okay.
No, Austin never played. Sorry,
Austin never.
Let me kick him out of the car real quick.
I feel like I've just got done talking to or listening to Dan Campbell and John Gruden. It got me all hyped up.
Yeah, no, it was special, man. But that's it, Coach. Like I said, we got anything we can do for you, let us know, and we'll get to one of your games soon. Good luck this weekend. Good luck the rest of the way, and we'll be talking to you soon.
All right, thank you guys. Y'all have a good one. All right,
there, Coach Michael Troutman.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you, guys.